going on, guys? Thank you all so much for tuning back. Today I have another Call of Duty Advanced Warfare video for you guys. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to turn your Battle 27 into an Obsidian Steed, or at least come close to being an Obsidian Steed. Now keep in mind the title in this video is Make, not how to unlock or how to get the Obsidian Steed. I'm trying to make this title and video as relevant to each other as possible. So getting into this video, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the stats of both weapons, and then I'm going to show you a chart that I came up with due to some research that I did, and why it is that this Battle 27 that I'm going to show you guys could come close to being as good as the Obsidian Steed. So first thing is first, why is it that the Obsidian Steed is so popular? Why is it that everybody drools over this weapon? Well, the main thing in the Obsidian Steed is the damage. As you guys can see here on screen, you can see it has, as you guys can see here on screen, the Obsidian Steed has +2 damage and then +1 mobility. Everything else is -1 accuracy, -1 fire rate, and -1 handling. Accuracy means how accurate the weapon can be while aiming down the sight, and some other things of course. And then fire rate is obviously how fast the weapon shoots, and handling is shooting accuracy when shooting from the hip, and it does have some other things to that as well. So now the Battle 27 that I came up with that actually comes close to the Obsidian Steed is the enlisted Battle 27 Carbon. Now you may look at the Battle 27 Carbon and you may think to yourself it's an enlisted weapon, but at the end of the day it's the only Battle 27 in the game that has +1 damage, and then it only has -1 accuracy. So at the end of the day, the only thing that the Battle 27 Obsidian Steed has over the advantage on the Carbon is the damage and the mobility. Now do keep in mind, do not mistake the damage from the Obsidian Steed to the damage in the Carbon, okay? The Carbon has decent damage, but the Obsidian Steed's damage cannot really be matched. It is probably one of the most overpowered weapons in the game, along with AK-12 RIP. Now sometimes in this game the stats are a little bit off, so you may see the chart, they look somewhat familiar, but in-game action, in-game how it really plays, the stats could sometimes mislead you as far as gameplay goes. Now on screen you guys can see both charts for the Obsidian Steed that I made for you and the Carbon. Don't worry, at the end of the video I will have a best class setup for your Battle 27 Carbon, so it could come as close as possible to the Obsidian Steed. So here we see the advantages and disadvantages of both variants. So they both have 34-25 damage. Now the one thing that the Obsidian Steed, why it shines so much when it comes to power, is because if you guys see all the way down under the Obsidian Steed chart, it says higher mid-range than the Carbon, 34 versus 33, and that seems very minimal, but it's actually a pretty big amount that could make a bullet difference. And at the end of the day, in this game every bullet counts, so that's why the Obsidian Steed shines so much, basically because it is powerful up front and it is powerful whether it's mid-range or whether it's long range. Another advantage that the Obsidian Steed has is ADS -10%. I know negative sounds bad, but in this case it's actually good. Aiming down the sight will be about 10% faster than regular. And then the disadvantages for the Obsidian Steed are the fire rate 750 RPM and 600 for the first 5 rounds. The view kick, which is accuracy whenever you're aiming down the sight, how much the recoil is, it's +10%, which means it has a little bit more recoil. And then hip spread, which is, you know, shooting from the hip, is +10 as well. Remember, the pluses in this case are a bad thing. And then you go down into the chart for the Battle 27 Carbon, and it does have the same damage, like I said, 34-25, but it does not have that mid-range to long-range effect. It stays at a little bit lower, it stays at a 33, while the Battle Obsidian Steed stays at a 34. And then the disadvantage, the only thing here is the view kick, which is +10%, which has a little bit more recoil. That is the only disadvantage to the Carbon. So at the end of the day, the Obsidian Steed has, I would say, a little bit more advantages, but then again the Carbon has less disadvantages. So that's the chart for the Battle 27 Carbon and the Battle 27 Obsidian Steed. So now how is it that the Carbon can somewhat come close to being the Obsidian Steed? Well, as you guys can see here on screen, the attachments for this class setup are stock foregrip and quick draw grip. The main attachment that you want to have on this class setup is the foregrip, just because both the Obsidian Steed and the Carbon do have a reduced accuracy. So you want to make sure you put on the Carbon, the foregrip on the Carbon, I'm sorry, so you can somewhat stabilize that accuracy a little bit more. Then you have stock and quick draw grip. These are both completely customizable. Whatever it is you guys want to do, you can switch them out if you don't like them, but I strongly suggest these two, especially the quick draw grip, because sometimes in this game whoever gets the first bullet on the target is the person that most likely will win the gunfight. And then the next attachment is the stock. Now you guys can personally decide to keep it or switch it out for, I would say, extended mags. I've seen a lot of people say that the Carbon decreases the magazine size, which is complete lies. It still has 32 magazine size, and then if you put on the extended magazine, it will have 48. Me personally, I'd actually tried it out with the extended mags. I have a gameplay for you tomorrow. I have a DNA fail by like 3 or 4 kills. And the only reason why I failed is because I ran out of bullets. I didn't hop on scavenger, which by the way, on some of these gameplays that you will be seeing in the background, I don't have this class setup in particular. So do not guide yourself by the gameplay and the class setup that I'm giving you. This class setup I'm giving you now is the one that I definitely recommend you guys run. And now continuing with this class setup, we have no secondary, all the wild cards that you guys can see here on screen, low profile, peripheral, scavenger, and blast suppressor, and then the score streaks you guys can see here too. You guys can completely change some of the score streaks and put other perks, maybe some lightweight and maybe some extra ability like extra overclock. Would definitely recommend that. But it is all up to you. I definitely recommend this class as is, especially it works really good when you're playing big games like ground war domination, ground war kill confirm, things like that. It gives you a lot of kills whenever it is you get into that system hack and then the bombing run. It really is tremendously helpful. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please feel free to drop a thumbs up. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, subscribe for more daily content. I'm HollowPoiint, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't checked out any of the previous videos, make sure to click the annotation on screen, and I'll see you guys on the next video.